Across the country, the emergency services industry is seeing an increase in overall ambulance wrecks due to distracted driving and workforce fatigue. As an industry, traffic fatalities in ambulance operations are nearly double that of other first responder professionals and more than 6 times more likely than in the general population. To combat this trend, Priority Ambulance is leading the way in technology to ensure employees and patients stay safe.
Nationally, there's been multiple studies, and the conclusions are all very similar in that distracted driving and fatigue driving has created multiple incidences and has elevated over the last 5 years particularly the injury and death rates in crashes vehicles. The technology that's becoming available to either to limit or to actually even stop texting and other distractions has helped reduce the overall incidence where those technologies are deployed. Priority, looking at much of this, has made a commitment to technology and engineering interfaces to minimize these type of issues.
In 2017, Priority Ambulance seized an opportunity to create a fleet with state-of-the-art safety systems that will complement driver training and fatigue mitigation programs to keep employees, patients, and communities safe. Founded in 2014, Priority Ambulance is one of the nation's largest and fastest-growing national private ambulance services. Priority vehicles for new expansions and contracts will be equipped with lane departure technology, rear end collision avoidance, driver behavior monitoring, and drowsy driving prevention devices, providing the necessary tools for ambulance personnel to do their jobs safely.
Our core values, SAFE, acronym for Safe, Accountable, Friendly, and Efficient, is the backbone of Priority. It protects our customers, it protects the patients, it protects our employees, our EMTs and paramedics, and it protects the whole citizens out there, anybody in the public. Because we are in the business of safety, and we looked at it and we said, you know what, we really need to have this as a core value. Well, at Priority we noticed that most of the training was focused on actions of the employee and things that we could do for the employees to make them safe and give them training, such as different driving techniques or having things available for them. What we saw was missing was the technology piece in EMS, specifically the trucking industry, the transportation industry. They've all had safety built into their trucks and equipment through technology. We felt like our industry was behind. So we've taken the approach of making sure that we look at technology that's available out there and put it in our trucks. It's a huge investment, but we think it's better for our patients and our employees.
We're on the leading edge of installing these technologies in our vehicles. Some of the driver feedback systems have been around for quite some time. There have been large advances in that technology and its availability. We are one of the first to use the aftermarket anti-collision and lane departure system. We worked with the City of Scottsdale during their bid process. The Scottsdale Fire Department had a very strong safety emphasis in their request for proposals. We did further analysis on the technology, demonstrated it to them, and they were very excited at the steps we were taking in order to improve the safety of our vehicles.
We knew that in going with Maricopa that safety was going to be a #1 priority. Everything that they do from a technological perspective in terms of the huge investment they've made in their units to keep vehicles within the lanes, forewarn about oncoming traffic and hazards, and then frankly the policies and procedures that they engage in and that we negotiate in terms of our deployment strategies as to making sure that we get to the call appropriately. If Brian's testimony to his own staff was you can't care for people if you don't get to the call, and he's made a huge investment in technology on his units to make sure that his staff are as safe as they can possibly be, and ultimately that the patients and providers in the back of that ambulance are as safe as they can be. So what a great partnership.
In the technologies that we have in place in the vehicles are the SDS system, which is the Safe Drive system, which is a anti-collision and lane departure system. This system will provide approximately 1.8 seconds of extra reaction time. The average reaction time for a driver from perception to action is 0.6 seconds. So we're getting a little over a second more reaction time with what a vehicle slamming on its brakes in front of you is almost an eternity.
Priority is the first ambulance fleet in the United States to incorporate this type of technology and to provide the added safety to the drivers, to the community, to the patients that they transport. So Priority is setting the gold standard with safety in the United States. Two separate systems that communicate together. One is the use of a medium range radar system. Monitors the speed of the vehicle in which Priority is driving and the vehicles in front up to a range of almost 460 feet, and it calculates 20 times a second that the safe distance between the vehicle in front and the vehicle in which they're driving is constantly maintained. The other part of the solution is a windshield mounted camera, and that camera's only job is to monitor that the driver and that vehicle remains intentionally in its lane.
We've also installed the Street Eagle driver safety system in all of our vehicles. This system provides constant feedback to our drivers in the cab of the vehicle. It rates each driver on 4 criteria: acceleration, braking, cornering, and speed. It constantly analyzes this information and builds what is called a My Score within Street Eagle. Our employees can access their score and see how they rank against the other drivers in the fleet. Research in our industry is pointing toward potential fatigue-related incidents. So we are currently exploring technology to combat potential fatigue driving with anti-drowsy driver technology. Some of these technologies utilize a camera and algorithms that monitor the driver's eye movements. This will also is twofold, will help detect when the driver is potentially distracted, as well as if the eyes close for more than a normal blink, the system will alarm and warn the driver that he is potentially having an issue. As a risk manager, anything that can reduce the frequency of accidents obviously reduces the chances of increasing severity. This not only gives us the cost savings in lost time, workers' comp, downtime for our employees, downtime for our vehicles. There's also increased savings in both fuel, maintenance costs, wear and tear on vehicles. We have gained such faith in the results we've seen from this system so far. We are planning on installing these systems in Indiana and New York State.
A lot of folks talk about it. Very, very few actually implement the changes that we are doing and commit the money, the resources, the time, the endeavor, and the focus to make this one of our primary objectives in operating this company.
I think our plans are to evaluate new technology, period. Anything that comes out that will give our paramedics and our EMTs a better chance of being safe and protecting the customers and the patients that we serve. We're going to invest in it. I think it's odd that you can buy a passenger car and it has a lot of the technology we're describing, but in our industry for transportation, it doesn't exist. So we're going to keep an eye out for things that can really improve patient satisfaction and customer service and trust, just to reinforce what we do. As being a member of the Catalyst, we all know that we're essentially self-insuring as a group. So we thought that it was the most important thing for us to do to try to save money, to provide better patient care and protect our employees, was to invest in them. Instead of paying $300,000 or $400,000 or $1 million in patient claims or outcomes that are negative, we thought we might try to give a shot and put into the technology that might give us a fighting chance of having less expense and protect our customers and protect our employees.